if you're doing a sedation.
I don't know if everyone's getting old. People are just not as crazy. I think there's like a nice mellow. I'm definitely not. I'm going backwards.
Marketing for the Now is the most contemporary show about what's actually happening. Marketing is going through one of its biggest transformations ever, where this thing controls the game. And there's so many things we pay attention to, but we get to talk to the brightest and best minds in marketing on marketing for the Now.
We are kicking off this episode of Marketing for the Now live from the Gallery Art House with probably the best guest we've ever had. Hi, Gary.
She's so great. Hi, everybody. Hey.
Gary, okay, this is our 4th year activating Art Basel as Vayner.
Time flies.
Time flies. What are you seeing this year?
You know, a little more balance. I think, I don't know if everyone's getting old. Like, people are just not as crazy. I think there's like a nice mellow.
Are you getting old?
I'm definitely not. I'm going backwards. But I do feel that, I feel like it's a good balance. I think, you know, all these things, and we talk about this a lot, you're always trying to think about like, hey, how do you make this high value? I think all the cynicism of CFOs and board members are like, why do all these marketing people go to all these parties and events? I've really enjoyed the level of conversation. I think people are thoughtful about the opportunities in the changing marketplace. And so I would say for everybody back home, it's not that it's more mellow or tame, I think it's just more balanced.
I love that. So thinking back to our first year activating Art Basel, that was like we're just coming out of COVID. We actually had a DJ play at the close of our party, which was in Wynwood, not too far from here. It was DJ Carlita. I think we paid her $2,500, a friend of my husband's who, you know, is now headlining Circle Loco. I feel like that's been really core to how we've activated in like the last 15 years. We're turning 15 years old. Gary, how do you feel seeing those people who were like, hey, we partnered with them early and now they're massive? You've seen that a million times.
Logan Paul, Charlie DeMillo, all this stuff, sweetie.
Carlita.
I feel amazing about it. I think we pride ourselves in, you know, when we're not doing these things in public, you know that we're spending a lot of our time trying to understand what's underpriced behavior.
Underpriced attention.
That's right. So where are the opportunities? How do we get clients to not overpay for yesterday and not overpay for tomorrow and underpay for today is a framework we believe in. And to your point, whether it's talent or influencers, or whether it's your media spend or how you spend on creative, that's a core principle to us. And I think to your point, it's extended to the people we surround ourselves with. And what's better than watching a kid on the come up actually go and live out their dreams and be a little tiny sliver along the way? That's a really nice feeling.
It is a nice feeling. And Gary, you've been at this for at least 15 years. Vayner is 15 years old. By the time this episode breaks, our 15-year story will be live. How do you feel 15 years in?
You know, it's interesting, and this is probably going to resonate with you because you're so detail close to our business. It feels like for some reason, in the last 15 weeks, the payoff of our last 15 years is starting to become real. I think we bet the farm on social in a lot of ways. We believe in everything else. I'm proud. I want this very clear. I'm proud that we're a 360 agency. I believe there's a time and place for outdoor, direct mail, search, but I do not believe that even as we sit here today, the industry that we are in understands how disproportionately substantial social is compared to every other channel. I really believe that. But as you know, which is why I'm answering this question, how do I feel? That we're in the pre-dawn of potentially the best 15 years. I hope this company lives for a very, very long time. It's very clear to me in the last 15 weeks that the industry's starting to wake up. You know the size and scopes that we're signing for social creative are numbers that our executive team 3 years ago was like, Gary, you know? And
I was that person.
You know, so it's exciting and it's based on the truth and merit and what's actually happening in the marketplace. So I think the next 5 years are going to be incredibly fruitful. We have a lot of work to do to operate against that, but the industry is catching up, as they say, and that is good because we're sitting there waiting for.
Like they say, there are decades where nothing happens, and there are weeks when decades happen.
I do love that saying.
15 weeks.
15 weeks. Mwah. Love you, team.
I'm so excited to be sitting here with Carole Diarra, who is the Global Head of Marketing and VP for UGG, the coziest footwear in the world. Carole, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so how many times have you been to Miami Art Week? Are you a veteran? Are you a newbie?
This is my very first time at Art Week.
Woo! And what do you think?
It's exciting. Oh my goodness. It's so inspiring to be around so much creativity, imagination, and community.
And Carole, I heard you got to walk the art today at the Art Basel fair. What were your takeaways?
Oh my gosh, it was so impressive. First of all, it's massive. And so really just to be able to have a very lovely curated tour.
Shout out Haley Romer, by the way. We love Haley.
Shout out to Haley. She's been a superstar for this whole thing. I think she's the queen of Art Basel. But it was really exciting to just see like how many artists are not only exhibited from the US, but from around the world. It really is a representation of North America, but also from Europe and Asia. And so it was great to see so much talent and so much creativity represented.
And let's talk about the brand side of things, because we are on Marketing for the Now. How are you seeing brands activate around this big cultural moment?
Oh, brands are really taking charge in so many different creative ways, whether they're supporting the artist community. So I saw one activation with Banana Republic, and they were having an activation with
Let's go Banana!
Yeah, and they were having an activation with Cultivist, which was really an artist community. And then we have Maybelline, which is hosting right here at Gallery Art House, and it's so impressive since I worked at L'Oreal for 15 years, so it's exciting to see the beauty world showing up in the art world and a great convergence of that. And then you have more luxury brands like Renault, who was also having a beautiful activation at the Art Basel scene. And even Sol de Janeiro had an incredible activation, which I didn't get to see.
Brazilian Bum Bum, sign me up.
Exactly, saw it, and she said it was fantastic just in terms of how brands are showing up in a beautiful garden space and owning their own identity and then connecting it to the Art Basel scene.
Amazing. And Carole, you are no stranger to connecting a brand identity with a scene. So Feel House, I think, was a concept your team pioneered and is now scaled out a bit. Can you tell us a little bit about Feel House?
Oh, Feel House is amazing. So
it just feels cozy.
It just feels cozy, but the whole idea behind Feel House is our team, our brand communications team, wanted a space where we could invite our community to really understand the UGG of today. And that UGG of today is all about empowering self-expression, being comfortable in your own skin, and creating a community around you. And so the Feel House space is one that's part experience and part retail, and we have them all over the world. So we've had them in Seoul, we've had them in Paris, and Chengdu in China, and most recently we had an amazing one in Los Angeles, and it was hosted and curated by Post Malone. He came in and did a performance of his best favorite hits. And what was so great about Post is that he's someone who just owns himself. Like, he owns who he is. He's so brave and so courageous. He shows up in so many different ways. He's ever evolving, and we feel like that's very true to the UGG brand. So it was exciting to partner with him and to just see how connected he was with the community around. He stayed for over an hour afterwards, just taking pictures. We had international guests there, and he was just really making them also feel special. So we loved it.
I love it. Well, Carole, thank you so much for taking some time to share your insights and what you've learned. Leading such an incredible global brand, I feel like I need some cozy Uggs. My feet are hurting after running around this week for Art Basel, but thank you so much for joining us. Always lovely to see you.
Thank you, Avery. Really appreciate it.
So excited to be standing here with Kristin with this beautiful blue guide. She is representing JPMorgan Chase. Kristin handles a lot of things on brand marketing, and she is the brain behind a lot of the cool ways that JPMorgan Chase is showing up here this week. Kristin, I heard that JPMorgan has been a partner of Art Basel for more than 3 years, and this year I think you all blew it out of the park. Tell us a little bit about the strategy.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's a team effort, first of all. It's been really incredible to be the first ever presenting sponsor for Scope. Sapphire Reserve has been a part of Miami Art Week for 3 years now, and this year we're really looking to continue to deliver great experiences for our customers, but also expand in many unique ways.
And a lot of this is card member specific. So proud Sapphire Reserve holder here, and I was lucky enough to be able to experience what they've built. And Scope looks absolutely unreal this year. The founder of Scope, Alexis, gave a quick talk yesterday, followed by some of the leaders in the culinary world and some folks from JPMC to sort of explain what they pulled off, but it's exclusive to card members, right?
It's exclusive for Chase Sapphire Reserve card members. So with card you can enter, and it's what you have come to expect from our lounges. It's a beautifully designed space, it's great seating, but it's incredible food from a local Miami chef, Sebastian Vargas. We have, I think, the best cocktail at Miami Art Week is the
that mango margarita.
Yes, you got it. You tried it. And then we also have a really incredible integration with some of the principal artists at Scope. You'll see this beautiful entry moment from Lua Bryce and this other beautiful moment from Yinka Ilori in the space.
Was that the really cool projection entrance?
Yes, that's from Lua.
so incredible. I think this is something that, you see a lot of banks activating in these types of places, but what Sapphire has done this year is really break through in a way that's exclusive to card members. And you just mentioned a little bit about the lounges, which are the hot new thing, unveiled this year, right?
We launched last year for the first one domestically, and even today we launched our very newest airport lounge in San Diego.
I was hoping you were going to say Miami.
Yeah. Not yet.
Okay, MIA is desperately in need of a Chase Sapphire Reserve Lounge.
Put it out into the world. But you can visit any of our airport lounges at LaGuardia, JFK, Dulles. We have Phoenix, San Diego, and we're really proud of what we have coming in the pipeline. But design continues to be a really core aspect of how we bring the Sapphire Reserve experience to life. So it's really this up-leveled premium way of how we express the brand, and it's the most meaningful way that we can bring it to life for our customers.
Amazing. And you all also, you talked a little bit about the food and the drinks pairings. Chase recently acquired The Infatuation, and they've been doing these really cool integrations. I've noticed even at the ATMs, we're starting to get restaurant recommendations, certain perks for trying different restaurants that are highly rated by The Infatuation. Are these two things coming closer and closer together as part of the same family?
It's funny you reference that. In our beautifully designed Miami guide for Sapphire Reserve, we partnered with our Infatuation colleagues to bring to light the best of Miami dining and put it in the book for our friends.
Oh man, well this book is going to be a treasured possession of mine. Thank you, Kristin, so much for gifting this to me. Thank you for being a partner of Vayner. Thank you for joining us here on the show.
Thank you so much.
So thrilled to be sitting here, sunset, Thursday night of Miami Art Week with these two lovely ladies. Introduce yourselves to Marketing for the Now.
For sure. My name is Angela.
And I'm Tiffany.
And who are you representing here?
We're coming as ourselves, but we do work in the beauty, e-commerce, and marketing space.
Okay, amazing. And you're Estée, you're consulting, and kind of observing all the cool things that are happening this week.
Yeah, totally.
So what's standing out to you all this week at Miami Art Week?
Basel is sort of, there's always events that are happening, but it's interesting to see how brands are activating at these events and how they're integrating culture into it, because culture is local, right? So I'd love to see everyone's perspective.
For sure. I would say today's event I thought was pretty cool too.
Gallery Art House, baby.
Beautiful, gorgeous. And then yes, earlier I had went to like a creator house that I thought did a really good job as well too, incorporating culture and relevancy.
And how many times have you all been to Art Basel, Miami Art Week? Are you veterans? Is this your first time?
I would say I'm in the middle. So this is my second. I wouldn't say I'm amateur, but for sure not a veteran. But yeah, this is my second, and I believe this is your first.
This is my first time at Basel, yeah. But I've been to many of activations, so it's interesting to compare and contrast what the vibes are.
I love that.
Yeah.
And you've been to a million brand activations,
yeah,
especially at like sort of cultural beacons, whether that's F1 or that's Coachella
Complex
or that's
Con,
Art Basel or that's Complex Con. What are the things that really stand out to you as brands who are breaking through and differentiating?
So I think the first and foremost is like if you're doing a plug and play activation, it's not going to cut it. No logo slapping, but I think storytelling is a big thing, right? And how you do that and integrate cohesively within the local culture, within that specific activation itself, and then your POV on what's going on in the world. So whether that's through a music lens, film lens, etc., we want to know that from a brand perspective.
What do you think, representing big brands in these types of activations, like what stands out to you as the ones who break through versus blend in?
I like the thoughtfulness with how you curate the folks that you bring to the events, making sure that you're bringing together the right group of people, as I've done today, right? I've met folks from different walks of life and industries. So I think that's helpful as well. There's just a thoughtfulness in how you curate the event.
I feel like it's that mix, right?
Yeah.
Even like it's not just creators, it's creators and it's brands and it's thought leaders, like and a few Miami locals, like all put together in a blender. Like that's that special sauce. And I'm so lucky to have these wonderful folks join us at Marketing for the Now today at Gallery Art House. Thank you all for making the time.
Oh, thank you
so much. So great to be here.
Thank you for joining me last minute on this.
Yeah, of course.
So
Happy
nice to see you in Miami.
Yeah, you too.
I think we haven't seen each other since Cannes.
Since Cannes. This is the US version.
Exactly. Yachts to palm trees. Yeah. So tell Marketing for the Now a little bit about you.
So I'm Alex. I'm with Snapchat. I run our global agency teams.
Is it Snap or Snapchat?
So Snap Inc. is the company, but Snapchat is the application itself. Yeah.
Okay, I always wonder about that. I feel like they're used interchangeably.
They are, yeah.
So what are you seeing from a marketing perspective this Art Basel?
We're seeing a big emergence and comeback with creativity.
Yep.
Right? I think in the media landscape, marketing landscape, there was a period where it was all about data and algorithms, but we're seeing the creativity and the art come back into the marketing world in a much stronger way. So super excited about that. Obviously, Snap's been an innovator with a lot of things creativity-wise with our augmented reality and things that we're doing. So excited to be here.
amazing. And are you seeing any people going off on Spotlight that are based here in Miami, that are here at Art Week doing cool things? In my personal Snap Spotlight, I've been seeing a lot of action out of Miami.
Yeah, we have a ton of our creators here. They're posting all the time. We're seeing like so much more content coming out of events like this.
Yep.
Creators on the platform has been a huge focus of ours. It's like been one of the fastest growing areas. It's cool kind of seeing everything they're doing here.
Okay, and Snap, as you just mentioned, is always doing things in a new, fresh way. And you all actually did a campaign this year that was really like saying Snap is not social media.
Yes.
It's different. How is Snap different?
Yeah, so one of the things we're leaning on is like, if you think about the way that people are coming to Snap, they're connecting with their friends and family.
Yep.
A lot of other platforms, we're seeing them focus on content that's not from your friends and family. So we wanted to lean in. Like, we think connections matter, and people really care about like what their friends and family are posting. One of the most exciting things that we've recently announced to Snap, they're communicating with friends and family. Now brands can be a part of that conversation. And so it's ads that will actually show up in the inbox that will be from a creator, from a brand, right there where people are communicating. So it's something super exciting that we're launching just this month.
Amazing. Well, I'm glad I got to connect with you.
Yeah,
so nice
you
to
too.
see you, Alex.
Good to see you, Avery.
Pumped to be sitting here with Mr. Miami himself, Jesse K. Jesse, I heard you've got more than 10 events this week.
We are sponsoring all sorts of different things all over the city. It's really exciting. It's great to have Art Basel in our hometown. This is my neighbor.
Literal neighbor.
I'll walk down the block on 10 a.m. on a Saturday, and I'll be coming to the gym. She'll be coming back. High five on the block. It's great to have the camaraderie. Isn't it fun to have everybody here?
We love it. Having folks in Miami, whether they're from New York or from LA, just sort of converge. Miami Art Week is one of our favorite weeks out of the year. And Jesse and his company have been helping put together some of the coolest musical acts and cultural events that are happening this week. So Jesse, give us a little taste of what you're up to.
So obviously, being in Miami, we kind of have boots on the ground. We're able to see what's happening, what's hot, what's not. Literally over our shoulder is an event by Neon 16, also an office based in our town. They represent Tahini, and they are having the art of being Latin. And it's a great party panel, and we sponsored it with a brand called Sun Cruiser. We also have tonight Kalela, wonderful talent, performing at Scope Art Fair.
Oh, we love a party at Scope.
Which will be really cool, great performance, and I hope you'll be there.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Great night tonight.
Okay, so Jesse, you've spent a lot of your career in music and helping both emerging and established artists kind of find their next audience. What are you seeing right now in the world of music?
Music is having a really amazing season, right? So all of a sudden, a lot of the music companies are just doing really well. Live Nation's stock is at an all-time high. Spotify's stock is at an all-time high. More artists are owning their masters. The independent artist movement is growing. The amateur artist movement is growing. There's so much opportunity right now in the music space. And so it's a really good time to be somebody creating music and also to be in the business of music. So it's exciting right now.
So it's a good time to be Jesse K.
Hey, it's a good time to be alive, and definitely what I do is connect brands and musicians. So really what we come up with these kind of creative out-of-the-box strategies to help artists and brands work together to kind of come up with collaborations.
The art of the collaboration.
That's really, it could be a great song. We could make that into a jingle.
All right, that's coming next. Thank you, Jesse, for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Avery.